Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bubby Brister and Friends Fantasy Football Podcast presented by Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Bubby is... I never have anything ready anymore. What's Bubby doing?
Last I heard, he's early voting.
Yeah,
so
okay.
He's out there early voting out there in Louisiana. So
Louisiana, that's going to go red, right? That's not a swing state.
Yeah, no chance. No chance of it going blue. Not a chance.
You know who else is going red, though?
Who's going red?
DeAndre Hopkins. He got traded to the Chiefs today.
Oh, yeah, he did. You know what I mean? They gave him a fourth round for him?
Yeah, that seems about right. There's really nothing to lose with this, in my opinion. I don't know how good he is anymore. I mean, it's easy to blame Will Levis. I didn't know Hopkins had a torn MCL over the offseason. Did you know that?
I did not. Well, I know he was doing nursing something, but it's just like... How old is D-Hop? He's like 32, man? Or something like that?
Yeah, he's got to be 32, 33.
I don't know. Like, expectation is low. I think that fourth round pick is kind of a waste. It's a throwaway for them because I think they could get better value in drafting a player with that fourth round pick. Thinking D-Hop. I think there's better talent. Because usually the Chiefs, they get a Super Bowl, they don't need a number one. They usually deal with, like, guys or, like, mid-card. They're Marquez Scandling, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Those guys work. They're serviceable people. They don't need a whole lion's share of catches. But I think with Travis Kelce's like lack of catches he's been doing now, he's just not the guy anymore. Like this is
Juju's hurt again.
And Juju's never been that guy. You know, I mean, he just never been since he left Pittsburgh. So it's, I think they're just desperate. And D-Hop, I mean, the Titans were like, fine, we're not going to win this year. They've already thrown in the towel already. That's sad. Not even halfway through the season. Yeah, we've thrown it in. Like they're looking for a new quarterback next year. That sucks.
Yeah. They need to go full Commanders and just rebuild everything. They need new uniforms too. The Titans uniforms are terrible. They're some of the worst in the league.
Justin Fields will be their quarterback next year.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah, Rashee Rice is out for the year. This is a no-lose move for the Chiefs. I think if you have Hopkins on your fantasy team, I don't know if you play him this week. You might not even be able to play him for the next 2 weeks. I would make him show me something first because I don't know. When I learned he had the MCL surgery in the offseason, I was like, oh, that makes total sense. And he's been in a slow decline for a while now.
Yeah. D-Hop has never been a guy that is great at getting separation. I mean, he's never one of them guys that, like, he runs good routes, so he cuts really well, but he's not a burner. So now you have MCL issues. You're aging. Now these corners are keeping up with you. You're not getting open. If anything, you're going to lead to more Mahomes picks. Like, he needs more of them, right?
Yeah, he might just get a lot of targets by virtue that the Chiefs don't have anyone else to throw the ball to, really. But this smells like Randy Moss on the 49ers vibes to me.
Ew. Yeah, that was gross.
Yeah. Then the Patriots have used 7 different starting offensive line combinations already this season. Did you see Bill Belichick had an issue with Gerard Mayo saying, quote, "We're a soft football team across the board"?
Yeah, I saw that, and it's really interesting because I was watching, as a Bucs fan, I was watching the Manning cast, and I guess Bill Belichick's going to be a common occurrence on that show now every week, which makes me want to watch even more because Bill Belichick is funny because you can tell Bill Belichick and Peyton Manning are still plugged in. Like they're like there. Like Eli Manning's enjoying the game. Peyton Manning's like in the huddle, like, why'd he throw it? Throw it away, throw it away. You know what I mean? He's like spazzing, and like Belichick, his comment on that was like, it's just he knows those guys, and I guess he said that's like fighting words. You just don't say that. You know what I mean? In his time, he's never said anything like that about his team.
And if you're the coach, it's your job to make those players better. To throw them under the bus like that is crazy to me. You're pretty much admitting that you're bad at your job. Bill Simmons said the only thing Mayo is good at is throwing shade. Do you think we're looking at a one and done here for the new Patriots head coach? Because it feels like it.
They'll give him at least 2 years. He's a former player for the Patriots. So, I mean, he was a former player there. So they maybe give him like 2 years, because he has a rookie quarterback. So with Drake May, they have a chance of getting they need a true number one wide receiver, which they don't have. So it gives them a year to maybe draft a guy, bring a guy in, you know what I mean? And then Gerard Mayo gets a chance to like implement a second season with them and then get a rhythm. I don't see them doing one and done. Patriots aren't poorly ran franchise. They're not a poorly fair franchise. They're going to at least give him 3 years. They're going to at least 3 years.
3?
I will say 3, because guaranteed 3, because they're competitive. They're not getting blown out in games, but they're competitive. And this is Gerard Mayo's first head coaching job, so it's like he's a homegrown guy, so they're giving him a chance.
Okay, yeah, good. All good answers. He'd have to have like Hugh Jackson numbers to be out after 2 years, I think, where he'd be like 3 and whatever the math is there.
Oh yeah, he has to
3
be
and 30.
Right. The Patriots have to look like how the Jacksonville Jaguars looked at the beginning of this season, like dog water. You're like, man, this is not good. All this talent and you're bad. That's Jacksonville. Jacksonville has all the talent and they're bad. So it's like, what's happening?
Speaking of looking like dog water, for the first time in their 104-year history, the Packers wore all white uniforms. But the problem to me was these white helmets. They were disgusting. They look like the Jets helmets. What are we doing?
Helmets, I commend the Packers for doing something different. I mean, they always have a bunch of uniforms. I'm a big fan of that navy blue uniform with the circle in the middle, with the number of the circle in the middle. You know what I'm talking about? It's like that 19.
Yeah, I don't like those.
I like those.
But if you're gonna wear a white helmet, give me those, the ones you're talking about, because that white helmet was atrocious. For some reason, that's not the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, now you're a whole new team. It's like iced out uniform. You're doing too much. Did you, on off subject, not the NFL, but in college, a college team, they had a special uniform this past weekend where it was like they had like the helmet was painted like a leather helmet, but it was a regular helmet, but it was painted, special painted to look like leather helmets.
Let me look this up.
They were all handcrafted, like specially made helmets to look. They have like an old school look to them, so it was definitely pretty appealing. College football is always trying to do something fancy. College football uniforms are always peak.
Yeah, I see these helmets here. Illinois was wearing them. They look crazy.
Because the detail, like they look like leather helmets, but they're shiny. So it's like they were trying something different.
Yeah, I'll give you props for trying that. The white helmets threw me off, and as someone who used to like the Packers, just seeing that, I was like, that is not the Packers. That is atrocious. Anytime you look like the Jets, you failed.
The Jets, the uniform, every time you think the Jets uniform is going to be cool, it just doesn't look cool anymore. It just...
Yeah, they're garbage. All around, all the time, forever. Like, sometimes teams will bubble up and you'll find them interesting. That's never happened with the Jets. Other than, like, that one year they had Brett Favre. And even that fell apart after, like, 10 weeks.
Yeah, 10 weeks it fell apart. He tore his pectoral. That was the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then since we won't discuss him in the box scores because he's not currently rostered in our fantasy league, have we seen the last of Deshaun Watson in a Cleveland Browns uniform or even altogether in the NFL?
So this will not be the last time. Because,
hot take.
Adam Scheffler, actually, this was on McAfee. They were talking about it, and they did a deep dive in his contract. If the Browns got rid of him, his cap hit next year, $71 million. The next year after that, his cap hit is what? $71 million. So if you remember last year where they said, hey, Deshaun Watson's reconfiguring his contract so to make up some more money for the Browns. They kicked the money in the future. That's all they did. It's like, yeah, I'm hurt, and here, I'll get paid less because I'm not playing. So you guys are paying me to not play because I got court stuff because I'm a rapist, and allegedly. And
allegedly.
And, kick it down there, and my contract, his agent is the best agent of all time because agent gave him a fully guaranteed contract with the highest fully guaranteed contract. You know what I mean? Which is crazy.
Yeah, I gotta say, I truly don't root for injuries, but the Browns, Deshaun Watson's, their fans, their ownership, they all got what they deserved out of this. It's a total debacle. I actually feel a little bit bad for their head coach because you could tell he has no say in the matter. The owner is forcing him to play Deshaun Watson.
So here's the question, and this is the part that kind of made me scratch my head and made me say something's fishy happening here. You know what I mean? Deshaun Watson might be a bigger scumbag than we letting him be. Because on the Browns, when he got hurt, you know who came in after him? Like that Dorian Thompson guy came in.
Right.
Wait a minute. Why didn't Jameis come in the game? Why was Jameson third stringer? Why is he a third stringer?
I read that was because it was like a game plan thing, like the Dorian guy, in case they wanted to run like a special play or whatever, since he's kind of athletic.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap. They knew that he was. They knew that if
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, if he was backup quarterback, maybe he might have felt pressure. And he's like, bum him the third stringer, and he has no fear of the other guy.
Right. Yeah, that's logical. Yeah, it's probably more logical than the game plan thing.
Yeah, so it's just crazy that for like two quarterbacks get hurt for finally Jameis to play. Are you serious? That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful.
I had a quarterback injury myself in my fantasy team, and I considered adding Jameis Winston for this week. So, I don't know. Myles Garrett was trying to be the voice of reason, calling out fans for booing Deshaun Watson's injury. There's a messaging problem with that, though, because we all saw him try and murder Mason Rudolph with his own helmet on Thursday Night Football in primetime, and one of the craziest things you'll ever see. So the Browns are a mess. I love it. I hope they're 4-13 forever.
It's sad. It's sad, you know what I mean? It's sad times there. And Myles Garrett trying to be the voice of reason is really wild because he's a very aggressive man. So it's just, I think everybody's trying to defend Deshaun Watson. It's just, you're a defensive player. You just don't have no options of what offensive players they bring to the team, man. So you're like,
right.
And they traded Amari Cooper, so they're already kind of selling their team already. It feels like they're selling them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Nick Chubb came back. Nick Chubb's coming back to what? This team? This sucks. If I'm Nick Chubb, I want out.
Too.
Yeah, Nick Chubb. I'm out. I want out.
Yeah, it's so funny to defend Deshaun Watson. Did you see they announced today that Ken Dorsey, the former Bills offensive coordinator, former Miami Hurricane quarterback, is going to be the new play caller?
No, I didn't hear that.
So the Browns, there's a conspiracy theory that the owners made the coach give up the play calling duties, so there's a good chance he's fired after this season.
So that'd be a bad choice. Because who would want to be a head coach of that team knowing that you're tied to Deshaun Watson for 2 years?
Yeah, I hope Cliff Kingsbury doesn't take that job. I would love to see the Commanders make him the highest paid offensive coordinator, kind of treat him like a associate head coach or something, because he's a huge part of why they're 5-2 and why the offense is probably the best offense they've had since literally 90s Joe Gibbs.
So this is my prediction. So if Kevin Stefanski gets fired, okay? If he does. I don't see him getting fired, though. But if he does, the next coach will be the offensive coordinator. The next coach will be the offensive coordinator for the Lions. That guy. He's a hot name. It's another hot year for the Lions. And the ownership will throw a boatload of money at him. And they'll give him like a 5-year deal.
Maybe more.
Hey, 5 years is solid. He's not going to get a 10-year deal like Chucky did or Sean Payton. Sean Payton took over the Broncos, right, knowing that he was stuck with like Russell Wilson, and he's gonna have to ride out Russell Wilson. He was there knowing that the Waltons were like, yeah, we got the money, we're good. You know what I mean? So
Dan Campbell and Kyle Shanahan got 6-year deals from the Lions and 49ers because, their ownership knew that they were inheriting turds that would take some time to be turned around.
right, so you can see that. So that's what makes it interesting. So, yes, I do. So I have some trivia for you. So this past week on Monday Night Football, before Mark Evans got hurt, he caught his 100th career receiving touchdown.
I saw it.
And he's the fastest to do it, which is interesting. That's an interesting thing. But can you name the other 11 people that have 100 receiving touchdowns?
I actually read this. What is it again?
11 people. He joins the ranks
Right.
of 100 touchdowns receiving. Devontae Adams is 4 touchdowns away from being 100, so he might get it or maybe not. We'll see.
He might not with the Jets.
We'll see. But, there's 11 people that have 100 receiving touchdowns. Can you name?
You want me to name them?
There's 10 other people. Sorry, there's 10 other people, whatever, because Mike is number 11 now. So, yes, name the 10 other people that have 100 touchdowns.
All right.
Receiving.
I should be able to get 5 of these. So I'll start with the obvious: Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Marvin Harrison.
Okay.
I got to go around the league in my head. Larry Fitzgerald.
Yes. 121.
I want to say I don't fully have a lot of faith in this. I'm going to say Reggie Wayne.
And that's no.
Okay. I guess I'll say Steve Largent.
Steve Largent is, yes, number 100.
He is?
Yes, he has 100 with one team, just like Mike Evans.
Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson, does not have 100 touchdowns.
Wow.
There was a year he had 1 touchdown.
It were some bad teams. He had a wasted career, kind of, in some ways. How many I got so far? I got 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so I met my goal. Let's give me another minute or two here. You got to think of winning teams that played with power quarterbacks. Like Andre Johnson just popped into my head, and I mean Matt Schaub was throwing him the ball most of the time, and the Texans were pretty much dog shit the whole time.
They were dog water.
I'll say it anyway. Then.
But he didn't. But Andre didn't get over 85.
Okay. Chris Carter.
Chris Carter is up there. 130 touchdowns. 3 teams.
All he does is catch touchdown passes.
Yes, it is.
He had a sad year with the Dolphins at the end of his career, I remember.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any Steelers on that list. There's definitely not going to be any Bears. Ooh, the Rams. I'm going around the map in my head in St. Louis. So this is a combo guess. Torrey Holt or Isaac Bruce?
So that's no and no. Isaac Bruce is close with 91, though.
Damn.
All right. So, you're out of time. So
Tim Brown?
Tim Brown, yes, you got it in there. So Tim Brown, he has 100 with 2 teams. You missed Tony Gonzalez, 111.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that. I wasn't thinking tight end.
Antonio Gates, 116.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that either.
You also have Terrell Owens that you did not
name.
Name.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
You know what I mean? That's an easy one. 5 teams, 153 touchdowns, which is crazy.
5 teams. Let me see if I can name the teams. 49ers, Eagles, Cowboys, Bills, Bengals.
Correct.
He was traded to the Ravens, you remember? And it got fought, and the trade got reversed.
Yeah. Why would he want to go there? There's no quarterback to throw to him anyway. Why would you want to go? Yep, that's all of them, you know what I mean? Devontae, like I said, is 4 touchdowns away, and somehow Jimmy Graham, since he has not retired yet, is still considered active with 89. But everybody else is retired, So, yes, it's what a wild time.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham makes sense on there. Drew Brees was throwing a lot of touchdown passes, and the Saints really never had a. I know Colston was probably the closest thing you had to a number one receiver, and he's not really a Hall of Famer.
And for the Pittsburgh Steelers fans, Hines Ward does have 85 touchdowns, so he did.
Okay.
He put in work. Believe it or not.
Yeah, he had a nose for the end zone. That's for
sure. The surprising one is Rob Gronkowski. He didn't have 100. He got 92. He never got over 100. You thought he would in 11 years.
I'm surprised he got that high, actually.
He caught a lot of touchdowns.
He's kind of like... Yeah.
He had like an 18 touchdown season. Like, it was like, for a tight end, 18 touchdowns was a lot of touchdowns for a tight end.
Yeah, that's crazy. He was hurt a lot, though.
Your boy D-Hop, we talked about earlier, 79. Tyreek Hill,
bad
77.
Teams.
And Travis Kelce, 74. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Kelce, do you think he'll get it?
Hell no.
Do you think he's done after this year?
This is last year, man. If they three-peat, he's gone. You know what I mean? That's why I need them to lose a game. Like, I need somebody to step up, and my sleeper pick for them to lose to a game 2 is the Broncos.
Yeah. You ready to do these box scores?
Let's do it.
Week 7. We'll start with me, fantasy football team. I lost to Jones, 146-140. I said last week I'm getting pissed off of teams dropping 150 on me every week, and it happened again. He got 41 points combined from Jalen Hurts, and Najee Harris is having a big season this year, and it seems like he's going to run the ball even more now that Russell Wilson's a quarterback. And he's going to have room to run because Wilson's going to, take the top off the defense a little bit more than Fields would.
Or let him cook.
I had questioned that move, but, I mean, it's hard to doubt Mike Tomlin. It really is.
The things I'm looking at is, like, Njoku right here, 10 catches for 76. That's the Jameis Winston effect because Jameis Winston threw him that touchdown. So that's the Jameis Winston effect immediately where a competent guy could sling the rock like him. There you go.
He had 14 targets in this game, and he had 15 all season coming into the game. So he's finally healthy, and Jameis Winston is going to fling it. Watson was just incapable of doing that.
So Jayden Daniels, he got kind of screwed because he banged his ribs up, and then
this is why I lost basically.
And he just stayed out of the game because there was no need for him to play. Washington won the game within the first 10 minutes of the game. The game was over. And so he just sat on the sidelines smiling, watching Mariota have people wondering, is Mariota a good quarterback again? Can we get him? Like, people are whispering that now. That's the talk now. Like, is Mariota available next year?
That's crazy. I hated the Mariota signing. I was kind of pissed about it, to be honest. And I mean, I was wrong. He looked very good in this game, but also Carolina's terrible. Carolina didn't prepare for him. But he did prove he could run the offense that they'd been running. So you brought this up, I think, 2 episodes ago, where teams should sign the backup in the style of the starter. And Mariota fits that bill. He's not as flashy as Jayden Daniels, but he is mobile, and
Correct.
He can throw some, accurate passes.
Correct.
And, short. So I'm expecting I picked up Mariota. I'm planning on playing him. I don't like the matchup he has this week against the Bears. I think they're the number 2 ranked fantasy defense against the pass. But I mean, I played Tank Bixby, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. I put him in pretty late. I would have been so mad if that happened on the bench. Tony Pollard, 14 points in his debut for me. Chris Godwin, this is another reason why I lost, and that is a crippling injury. I have no bench. It's a problem, and this Godwin injury is just really going to test my depth. Like, Wan'Dale Robinson is my 3rd best receiver currently.
Yeah, and, no pun intended, Chris Godwin broke an ankle. It's 2nd time in his career. In his rookie season, he broke his ankle on the final play in his rookie season against the Saints. Cut touchdown pass from Jameis Winston, and he caught up the right sideline, and my man hip tackled him just like that and broke his ankle at the end of the game. So you have to be a hardcore Buck fan to know that. I remember that play, and I'm like, wow, we won that game even though we had a losing record. We beat the Saints. Drew Brees led Saints for whatever reason, and he broke his ankle in a contract year, which makes it worse.
I watched pretty much all this game. I shut it off with like 8 minutes left, and when I woke up in the morning, I checked the box score, and it said Chris Godwin D, for doubtful, and I was like, oh no, Chris Godwin got hurt. But I knew it was late, so I just figured he was doubtful because of the timing of the game.
Right.
And it said dislocated ankle, and I was like, that sounds bad. So I immediately looked up the play, and I saw his foot was on like the 30-yard line, and his body was on like the 45-yard line. And I was like, oh, he's done for the season. Like, best case scenario, he'll be able to walk again. Brock Bowers, 10 catches, 14 targets.
Continuing the hot streak.
Yeah, but, I mean, Tyreek Hill also cost me this game. 1 catch, 8 yards. Like, I had low expectations for him until Tua came back, but this is not good enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tua's back, though. Tua's practicing.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how long. You see he's refusing to wear the Guardian cap, which is, like, famous last words, maybe.
I don't understand why. Like, come on. Like,
just do it.
So because he's like, right now they're saying that Guardian cap is a little bit heavier than the normal cap. If you watch the Monday Night Football game, the right tackle for the Buccaneers, he's wearing the Guardian cap because he missed 3 games through concussions. So he's like, I'm going to wear the cap, and it's like, dude, just wear it. Who cares? You don't look cool in it. I don't give a fuck. Your job is to play, what I mean? You can't, you get another concussion, bro. Everybody's going to force you not to play. They're going to be like, no. They're going to stop you from playing. Like, just don't do it. We can't afford you to get concussed. Like, you're not going to see 40. You know what I mean? Like, you need to stop.
Yeah, he answered it so cavalierly, too, which I think was part of the problem. Like, kind of eye-rolly from the people watching. Like, oh, you didn't even consider wearing a Guardian cap, and it appears like you're afraid to look foolish in it. And, like, you're going to look real foolish if you got to get carted off the field again.
Yeah, it was because now you'd be like, you had mercy for him. And these guys, these defensive players, they're not gonna like wonder how they tackle you. They're just gonna tackle. And last time he got concussed, he didn't get hit in the head. His head hit the ground. His head hit the ground.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's you. It's you.
Yeah, it's you. It's not the football anymore. It's you. But nothing. You got anything else for Jones here? Last week we questioned his decision to drop Alexander Madison after a 21-point performance, and that proved to be a foolish move because Madison had 20-some points again this week, and he got 12 points combined from Raheem Mostert and Ramondre Stevenson,
right.
And he has no other running back on his bench, so that was indeed a not good general manager decision. DeAndre Hopkins in his final game as a Titan had 1 catch for -2 yards. Over or under -2 yards this week for DeAndre Hopkins in his Chiefs debut.
He'll get over 2 yards because, like,
No, over -2 yards.
Oh, over -2 yards? I get over -2 yards. There's no way he's going to go like -4 yards with the Chiefs. That'll be the laughing stock if ever.
So I'm on a 2-game losing streak now. I'm 4-1. It's a thin line because I have a good team, and I could easily be 6-1 after these last 2 weeks. Instead, I'm facing 500 this week. I'm playing Spawn, who is 6-1 and on a 6-game winning streak. I mean, my season took a dark turn. But that's it. We'll go to Smash Hawk. He won 130 over Jordan. It's 110. Jordan is on a 3-game losing streak. He is now 3-4. Smash Hawk is 5-2. Smash Hawk was able to survive a 7 points from C.J. Stroud and a 0 from Tank Dell. That was a stack that fell over.
Sheesh. You know what I mean? It just his opponent team was just played worse. I mean, when James Conner's your hot one and no one else did something, that's a bad time. I mean, he had a good production from T. Higgins, but Sutton with 0, Travis Kelce 5. Nick Chubb got some good points there, you know what I mean? But
yeah, first game back.
Right, you know what I mean? The Chargers defense just 9. They just gave up yards. They didn't give up any points really. Just that's really tough. Where Smash Hawk, Cincinnati defense gets Cleveland, it's just money in the bank automatically with Deshaun Watson. But it might not be anymore because now with Jameis quarterback, and Jameis could put up points, but he'll throw some pick sixes too, so that's interesting there. Smith, Jay Smith from Miami there, the tight end. Is it Jonnu Smith? Yeah, Jonnu Smith. 796, 1 touchdown. Yeah,
that's big.
You know what I mean? That's huge because
he's basically the difference in this game.
Yeah, that's it. Literally it. And Antonio Brown coming back. You know what I mean? Just trying to get back in the fold.
AJ Brown.
Is it AJ Brown? Oh yeah.
Yeah, you said Antonio Brown.
Yeah, you're right. AJ
Antonio Brown is Antonio Brown is on the stump in Pennsylvania. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah, I saw that.
But
he's a bum.
AJ Brown, 2 touchdowns. AJ Brown has played 3 games this season, week 1, 7, and 8. He has 3 touchdowns in those 3 games. He has 22, 23, and 19 points in those 3 games. So Smash Hawk, got his dude back, basically.
Yeah, Smash Hawk has to make some choices, though, because with Tua coming back, he has 2 on his IR, so you have to drop somebody. So you have to figure out, and he has a pretty stacked team. We've always talked about he has some good players. So somebody has to leave. And so we'll see how it goes. Probably be the Tennessee Titans running back on his squad. But
actually, he just dropped him an hour ago.
Yeah, as I said, he'd be the one to leave. But Alvin Kamara, high off the press, has got a broken hand. So
he's on a downswing.
Yeah, that's not good. He signed a contract extension too, so just to kick the can more for the Saints down the road.
He had 7 carries for 10 yards, but he had 6 catches on 7 targets for 14 yards. So a very odd game. Got him 10 points. He's had double-digit points every game this season, but it feels like he's headed in the wrong direction with Derek Carr out.
I think that was I think that was more, the coach of the Broncos understanding who Alvin Kamara is and what routes he runs. So he's like, hey, you see this, do this. You see that, do that. Hey, you will not be great because I made you great and I know how to defeat you too. So I think that's just a system of that.
My last note for Jordan here is Patrick Mahomes is the 22nd ranked fantasy quarterback. And he obviously went into the draft, or it played out during the draft, to take Mahomes and Kelsey, and it's just not getting the job done.
My only problem is that, look, you drafted him high, man, so I get it. You don't want to drop him. I get it. But your back quarterback cannot be Daniel Jones. You got to do better than this. You got to do better. There's got to be better, man. You could take a flyer on Drake May or something else.
Or Jameis.
Or Jameis or something. You got to take a flyer on someone else because it just until Patrick Mahomes could show me 3 touchdowns, I don't want to try it. You know what I mean? I don't want to even start him. I would keep him on my bench and just be like, let's just wait to see because you need to win games. Because if he waits around Patrick Mahomes to get there, he's gonna end up missing the playoffs. Like you said, it's a razor's edge right now.
He could get a boost from Hopkins. We'll find out. On to the next one. We got Lionheart. He changed his name back. The 4-game losing streak was enough for him to say enough. I'll go back to Lionheart. He played you. Buck, what you think? You went off. You won the 40 high fives, right?
Let's go. Back-to-back weeks, baby.
Damn.
Back to back.
Now, this was a little bit of fool's gold. I'm sure Brindle noticed this, but he went into Monday night with a sizable lead because you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players going on Monday night, and you just ran up the score.
Yeah, it was tough because he had a tough matchup anyway, knowing the idea that he had Detroit, right? So he's Team Detroit, okay, in fantasy, and Team Detroit against Minnesota, which is a good defense. So Jared Goff, 27 points, very solid, and Gibbs was pinning up points there, catching and receiving, 37, which is, game the high of regular non-quarterback players on our matchup. But Montgomery, 9 points, that's not going to work. You're hoping you're going to get a 20-20 split from guys, and they didn't get it.
Yeah, that's a lot to ask every week from one backfield.
Malik Neighbors, 8 points. J-Mo, 1 catch, -4 yards.
Who is now suspended for PEDs.
Sam Laporta has been lost.
He's been very
Season.
disappointing. Yeah, 21st ranked tight end.
I drafted him high in another league I'm in, and he's been just sad. I don't even start him. So I exactly know how that feels. Detroit defense was let Minnesota back in the game, so he saw them points just fly out the window. So that's tough money. We're on the bench. He had Dobbs 17 points. Just sitting there.
Yeah, you got to start playing Dobbs. He should have had him in the lineup this week. 8 catches, 94 yards. Green Bay has a lot of good receivers, but you just got to play Dobbs while he's hot and hope he can keep it up. He should be getting Nakua back soon. I would guess in the next 3 weeks, but it might be too late. He had to play Zamir White, which, ooh. And I was high on him, and ooh. He got 13 yards. He's not even the starter anymore. He had 3 carries, 3 points. Ugh, that is bad.
Yeah.
So now he basically has the same guy in Ezekiel Elliott and Zamir White. He cloned him. He got Ezekiel Elliott. He fed Ezekiel Elliott after midnight.
Oh no! We're yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you went ham. You had asked me if you should play Mark Andrews or Cade Otton, and they scored 20 and 18 respectively. So you couldn't have gone wrong. Otton had 8 catches, 100 yards. He could get a big boost with this receiver deficiency the Bucks are suddenly looking at, and Andrews had 2 touchdowns, so he might be turning this thing around.
I right now I don't believe in Andrews yet. So I mean I started him when I text you. I was like, yeah, maybe I should. I would lean to starting him, but I'm not sure to start because I know Audin's gonna be consistent. Where Audin he's been averaging at least 5 targets for the last 5 games. So he's getting the targets at least. Where Andrews is not. But I know the Buccaneers, they're a team that somehow lets these players you forget about all of a sudden go off on you, and you're like, oh, look at this guy, oh wow, he's doing great against Tampa, and it's always like that. But we had Kareem Hunt, 29 points, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had a couple receiving catches as well. Garrett Wilson, I'm concerned because the Jets offense is just atrocious, and Aaron Rodgers is trying to be very diplomatic about this because Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams, they had the same amount of targets and catches. So it's really diplomatic, and it's like, dude, feed the hot hand, something. Dobbs had a very bad game in my book because he played against the Arizona Cardinals. You should be able to put up more rushing yards than that. And I just feel, I don't like the head coach of the Chargers, what he's turning this team into, because they're just, how you throw for 340 yards and no touchdowns? How is Herbert on? How is Herbert right now? Right now, if you check waivers, he's there.
Yeah, he's been there basically all year. I cut him after week 1.
Are you kidding me? Like Herbert,
yeah, nobody wants him.
340 yards, no interceptions, but no touchdowns. Like it's empty calories.
Herbert was on like a fantasy Hall of Fame career trajectory, and now that's going to be in question until we see it again and see it over a long period of time.
He was fancy Phillip Rivers again. This was it. It was like he's Phillip Rivers again. He ain't gonna win the big games, but man, he'll put up 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and you get them guaranteed points with him, and you're like, this is great. Now you're like, how the hell? Like, you're a good quarterback, and you can't start him.
Daniel Jones is rostered over Justin Herbert in our league.
And that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Rachaad White, there was a lot of whispers on Rachaad White should be benched. And he lost his job after what the guys did to the Saints, whatever. Like, oh, man, he ain't going to never start. My man.
Yeah, don't believe the hype.
Don't believe the hype, because Rachaad White, he may not carry the ball that well, but he's more of an Alvin Kamara running back where he catches the ball and he makes all the damage, makes somebody miss, and every time.
He kind of thrives when the Bucs are playing from behind, and since they've been pretty good this year, they haven't been playing from behind too much, and that might have hurt his fantasy value a little bit. And this brings us to Sweetness 34 versus Dead Money. Freeman failed to score 100 points. He lost 143 to 97. Heater has won 2 in a row. He's up to 3-4. He's had 2 pretty good weeks back to back. That I remember he played me last week and scored 150, I think. He lost DK Metcalf, 4 catches, 99 yards, and a touchdown. He's going to be out a couple weeks. That was one of his big trades. Another one of his trades, Deontay Johnson, had 1 catch for 17 yards and the loss to the Commanders. His highest scoring player was the Philly defense.
There might be brighter day for Deontay Johnson because rumor mill is they're looking to move him. So that's really weird because he was just on the Steelers last year and I felt like he was not the problem, but now it feels like he might be the problem. I don't know. I don't know.
Marvin Harrison Jr. has had an interesting season. In week 1, he had 1 catch for 4 yards, 1 point. Week 2, 4 catches, 8 targets, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, 29 points. 5 catches, 11 targets. So his catch percentage is pretty bad. 5 catches, 11 targets, 64 yards, a touchdown, 17 points. Then 5 for 6, 45, 1, and 15 in week 4. Now, weeks 5, 6, and 7, he did get concussed that one game, but he has 5 catches on 14 targets for 57 yards, 10 points in the last 3 weeks.
I'm putting that on Kyle Murray. Because, like, they showed some of the... They showed, like, if you watch Monday Night Football game, you saw some of the Manning cast, and it would go to the red zone, so you see the Arizona... Like, he just air-mailing passes to him, like, just missing him bad. You know, Kyle Murray, I don't know, man. He's a little sus. He's a little sus.
Yeah, that's fair to say. He's the 7th-ranked quarterback in our league, though.
Because he's a fantasy guy. So he gets your rushing yards. He had that huge run for a touchdown, which you saw him like on Madden hit the afterburners and just go right around the guy, just run, and you're like, this is crazy.
Yeah, he's fun.
But again, he's not 145 yards throwing. What is that? What are we doing? You know what I mean? That's not enough.
Yeah, not much here for Freeman. Heater though, 28 from Josh Allen, 323 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bijan Robinson is just quietly having a huge fantasy season for the Falcons. He's averaging 21 points a game. He's the 5th-ranked running back. He got a 1 from Braylon Allen. That was a dart he had to throw. Devontae Smith, I saw someone compare him to Deshaun Jackson fantasy-wise, and I think that's totally true. And so basically you have to keep playing Devontae Smith because you never know when he's going to pop off. You can't like try and pick and choose when you think he's gonna have a big week.
That's fair because he's very high and low, and with Hurts not playing as good as he is right now,
and now that Brown's back,
yeah. So it's tough, and he's a fragile guy too, just like Deshaun Watson was. It's tough, but dead money, it's tough. It's tough sledding here for him because with DK getting hurt, Marvin Harrison being uptown, he does got A-Chain with Tua coming back, so Tua might boost him up. But the Zach Moss is just he's not the bell cow, so he's starting like the handcuffed. He started Richardson on his bench, quarterback, 129 yards, 12 points. You know what I mean? Billy's making the hand gesture of cutting him like. It's time to cut bait on him. He's just not going to work.
I honestly I was interested in him pre-draft. I really was because he was very good like the 3 games he played last year before his injury. But as soon as I saw that week 1 where he had like, I can't remember if it was 7 or like 12 completions or something, I was out. That's not an NFL quarterback.
It was like 200-some yards. It was like 200-some yards, but like 12 completions or some dumb. And it was like... deep passes. He was missing all the short passes. He had picks. Yeah, it was crazy.
Hunter Henry is having a very good season quietly. He's had 30 points the last 2 weeks.
With Drake May. Drake May is turning around the offense a bit. You know, he's slinging the ball. You know,
Yeah, good call. That's it for that one. Heater is quietly climbing up the standings. Stealing the wins versus Mile High Salute. This was a close game, 109-100. Brandon took the win. He's 4-3. He's on a 2-game winning streak. Stealing the wins is on a 3-game losing streak. He's 2-5. He made a colossal mistake here. Aaron Jones was on his bench. He was returning from an injury. He had 14 carries, 93 yards, and a touchdown, plus 3 catches for another 23 yards. He had 24 points. He plays him instead of Austin Eckler, who had 3 points. He wins his hands down.
Right. You start the guy who's the starter over the guy who's the backup. You know what I mean? You start your starters. If he's a starter, you start your starter. You know, if there's no other reason why you should start him, you know what I mean? If he's a starter and it's questionable, that means he's going to play, then you start him. That should just be... That should be a given.
The default. I went through that with Brian Robinson this week. He was questionable all week. He had missed the previous week, and he was questionable. And I was like, if he plays, I'm playing him. I'd rather lose with my guys than lose on a dart.
I did that with White. Well, he's questionable. He missed last game. He's questionable this week. They might not use him that much. And here they used him. So it's like, there's a reason why they're a starter. So just keep the starter. But still, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say Saquon Barkley had 32 points. His 176 rushing yards are his second career highest rushing total. The only player to rush for more yards against their former team was 15 years ago when Cedric Benson did it as a member of the Bengals. He rushed for 189 yards against the Bears.
Wow. Okay.
I thought that was interesting.
That's interesting. Drake London, 6 for 63. He's having a quiet season. He's making it happen.
Yeah, he's
quiet
good.
season.
Third-ranked receiver.
That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. That shows the state of wide receivers right now.
He has touchdowns in 5 of 7 games.
Well, he's a red zone threat because apparently Kyle Pitts is not. I don't get it, but I guess he's not. But I mean, he Kirk Cousins, he's gonna throw the ball. Speaking of that, he has Kyle Pitts on his team, 7 for 65. He's having a good season too. With Waddle 1 for 11. Ugh.
Yeah, I guess all you could do is hope Tua will help. But I had Waddle last year, and I was very just underwhelmed. George Pickens might be on the verge of a breakout with Russell Wilson at quarterback. 5 catches, 111 yards, and a touchdown. He's had a disappointing start to the season, but Russell Wilson might be able to unlock him.
I mean, he's riding that wave right now with Jay Reed here on Green Bay, because either he'll have a game where he just absolutely blows it out of the park, or he drops these little eggs right here, 2 for 10 yards. It's like, what's happening?
Yeah, apparently he has an ankle injury. So Green Bay has so many receivers that it's going to be hard to pick who between Dobbs, Christian Watson is explosive sometimes. Wicks had a big game earlier this year, and Reed. Diggs had a disappointing game, only 7 points, but Brandon survived it. It was tied for his lowest scoring game of the season.
Yeah, but Pickens finding his stride here, 5 for 111 and a touchdown. One thing Russell Wilson's always good about doing is throwing a deep ball. Russell Wilson could throw a deep ball. The little moonshot, the little ball that kind of just floats down. And if you're a 50-50 ball guy, you come down with it. That's how Cortland Sutton made his bones when they were together there. And now Pickett's like, I could do it.
Yeah, one thing you can't say about Russell Wilson is he's afraid to stand in the pocket and throw the ball. He takes his time. He's very methodical. He doesn't panic. He's always in control of himself. That's probably why
true.
Tomlin played him, to be honest. He just wanted a guy in control of the offense and just, he's trustworthy.
Yeah, he's and he fits in what they're trying to do because he's a little bit smarter. Fields has a higher ceiling. Like Fields could do a lot more, but the problem is that Fields will do it and then throw you some bad passes in there. And he won't make that accurate pass. Russell Wilson's very accurate when he wants to be. He'll throw some darts, he'll put it right on the spot, and he has the pedigree to do it, and I think he's been humbled enough now with Pittsburgh that there's no like, hey, yeah, I'm the guy, that's my team. Like, no, he's like, every time you probably hear him interview now, he'd be like this, yeah, we're trying to do our best. Yeah, we're going to, he just one of the guys now like, hey, I'm just trying to win. This ain't my team.
Justice Hill had 15 points on the bench. I loved watching him this week, and I tried trading for him, and Brandon shut me down.
It was ridiculous.
That guy runs hard.
It would be ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. As a Buccaneer fan, it infuriated me because it literally, was coming. He literally dropped back. Justice Hill runs out of he just looks out immediately, throws the ball, and he gets 25 yards. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah,
so,
he's shifty. He runs hard.
The Bucs really no answer there. Aaron Rodgers, 19 points, 276, a touchdown, 2 picks, a loss.
On the bench. That's an interesting quarterback combo. He has Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers on his fantasy roster.
Green Bay love.
Yeah. One last thing, he won without Jonathan Taylor. He played Tyler Goodson. I had Trey Sermon on my roster the previous 2 weeks, so I could see that he was going to lose carries because he was very inefficient. So I dropped him, even though I knew Taylor was going to be out this week. And Brandon had a waiver claim on Sermon, and he was probably disappointed that he didn't get Sermon, and he settled for Goodson. But if you're like reading the tea leaves properly, you could see that Goodson was going to get to work this week. He had 14 carries in this game. He had 13 carries the previous 2 weeks. Double-digit points 3 weeks in a row for Tyler Goodson.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That is good. All right. New Day co-op, Slade. Slade is having worse luck than I am in points against. Slade is on a 3-game losing streak. He could be on a 3-game winning streak. He lost 152 to 125. Hine and the Punishers are on a 5-game winning streak. He's 6-1 and tied with Spawn for first place. This game was Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. They are just bulldozing people, and Hine is on a 5-game winning streak because of it. Derrick Henry might be the steal of the draft at number 16. Like, what were we all doing? This was a perfect marriage between team and player and playing style, and we all were just like, nah.
Derrick Henry, like, yeah, hindsight, my brain hurts, but it's like, you don't see it because you're like, does Derrick Henry still have it and everything else? And they're not. Derrick Henry, here's the difference, right? The Ravens are using him. He's not getting 25 carries a game. You know what I mean? They're not using like in Tennessee, where in Tennessee he's getting like 25, 30, and he was like getting ran to the ground. Like he's getting 10 to 15, but he's getting carries in the fourth quarter where he's fresh and he's 240 pounds. You know what I mean? He runs a 4.5. He's good. And
the defense has to
keep up, and they're tired. They've been chasing Lamar all game.
Yep.
So they're tired.
Yep. Lamar threw 5 touchdowns in this game against the Bucks. 281 yards passing. Chuba Hubbard, another 17.
When they have their bye week, this is when Tampa Bay Punishers, they lose their game because Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry both off. His team is nothing. Like it's slim pickings. Like he has to. If I'm him and he's in a position of winning, he needs to try to make a play on a trade with somebody, probably with you, to maybe upgrade his staff because I
don't have anybody to trade. I have no depth, but he doesn't have to worry about it. The bye's not until week 14.
Chuba Hubbard, man, come on. He's doing it, but he's moving along. Brandon Ayuk is out for the season, so he's gone. Scary Terry could potentially give you something. The tight end that he started, I don't even know who this guy is. 1 for 5.
He played him because Goddard was out. I actually stole this idea from him and played him in DeMoss's Brothers League, and it didn't work out. 1 catch, 5 yards. You could drop him.
Yeah, Douglas from New England, 2 for 14. That's not good either. His bench, Travis Etienne, he's like nobody now. Keenan Allen is nobody still. Jacoby Myers, he's not even playing. You know what I mean? Freiermuth would have probably been a better even starter for him for real that week. And he didn't start
Madison. He just traded for him too.
You're right. And Madison, he didn't start him, and he's probably the starter that he should start over Chuba Hubbard, especially when they're going back to the other guy, Bryce. They're going back to Bryce again. So now they're going to stack the box again and prove that Bryce can throw the ball. But like you said, New Day Co-op ran into some bad luck. Kirk Cousins, he just got carved up this game. 13 points. That's not going to work. But he got some great production from his running back situation.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs, his first career touchdown catch. He had the most catches in NFL history without catching a touchdown. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. He had like 200 catches without like over 200 catches without a touchdown catch. This is wild. Christian Watson.
Yeah. I drafted him and dropped him so long ago. It's just
1 catch for 9 yards.
He's a lottery ticket.
What the hell, man? Christian Watson is first round. He was the first round draft pick. Remember? Aaron Rodgers never had a first round draft pick receiver, and he was his first. And this is what he's doing? Damn it!
He kind of set the tone for his career in his first game. Rodgers threw a bomb, and Watson was wide open, and it hit him right in the hands, and he dropped it. He kind of set the tone for his career at that point, that he was just going to be like this erratic receiver with, like, you could see the talent, but it just doesn't look like it's going to break through the way it should. Keon Coleman, 4 catches, 125 yards, 16 points. This was his best game. He's a rookie.
Right.
He is going to benefit from the Amari Cooper trade, it looks like,
Correct.
to the point where
Absolutely.
he could start considering playing him now, where he might have been droppable a week ago.
Even game within the game in that situation is that Amari Cooper is going to teach him how to, like, be a professional. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you're practicing with me, and look, the other guys, you know, no offense to Matt Collins, but hey, you know what I mean? I'm a Pro Bowler. I'm a guy. I've had 200 yards receiving. Have you ever had that before? I can show you how to do this. You know what I mean? Like, so he's a prototype. He's just buying his time for Nico Collins to show back up. And Christian Kirk, man, is it time to stick a fork in this guy, man? Because he's just not the guy anymore.
Yeah, he's got to be one of the biggest disappointments of the fantasy season. Well, he had from weeks 3, 4, and 5, he looked okay, but yeah, it's just not good. I was gonna compare him to Calvin Ridley. That's not fair, but it just doesn't look like he's gonna have a steady season the way he did the previous couple years. Punishers, ATN is out, so he didn't play him. And then Madison, 23 points on the bench, 92 yards. It's about time we respect Alexander Madison. He's on his 4th fantasy team in our league this season, and the last 3 weeks he has 15, 21, and 23 points. He's a guy. He's,
with all due respect, we respect him. We don't respect the Vegas Raiders. We don't respect that team.
Yeah, the Raiders.
It's like, who's your quarterback?
Yeah,
you don't know who your quarterback is. I mean, come on now.
I was super impressed with Antonio Pierce last year, to the point where I wanted the Commanders to look at him if the Raiders didn't retain him. But he's been so wishy-washy with switching quarterbacks and running backs, and he, you know, kind of shit on Devontae Adams on the way out of town. It just looks like he's going to be a guy who could lose the locker room if he
another losing season
doesn't. Yeah, you can't be jerking guys around like that. It doesn't play. It really doesn't.
Like, I don't understand. Like, personally speaking, I just don't understand how Oakland Raiders came into season with, y'all thought that having Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell was your best choices. Like, are you kidding me? Where you had Jameis Winston out there, you had Mariota out there, you had all these other people that were like legit starters. You know what I mean? That's just like, that's the bottom of the barrel. They could have made a run for what's the guy in Pittsburgh right was top bottom. Both the guys in Pittsburgh, for real. They could
Wilson.
They could run right for Wilson. They could have went for his backup. I mean, there's other people they could have made a run for. They just didn't, and it's like, what the hell, man? So
Jameis Winston would have been a fun Raider, and I feel like that's something Al Davis would have done.
Oh yeah, he would have been. He's just zany enough to make it all work too.
Mm-hmm. On to the final game. We got MVP Spawn. That's his team name. He's not the MVP, is it? But 6-game winning streak. He's 6-1, 158 to 139 over DeMoss and the Renegades of Funk. Joe Mixon, just when he plays, he is top notch. 35 points this week, 31 points the week before, 37 points in week 1. Those are the 3 games he's been healthy in. The Texans are not afraid to bell cow him, old school style.
Joe Mixon should be comeback player of the year for real, because there's no he was on the Bengals last year, but you didn't know that. You know what I mean?
Fantasy comeback player of the year.
Fine, I'll let you have that then. All right, because he's a absolute monster. He has a real tandem with Mixon and Walker the third, because them guys are just continuous points. You know what I mean? Like, they combine together for 60 by themselves, over 60 points. So that's just great.
He's got that dude Chase Brown on the bench, too. He played Bucky Irving over him. It worked out. But Chase Brown seems like he could be on the verge of the breakout, possibly. He got douched here, though. Deebo Samuel was listed as questionable, and he did play like 4 plays, and he has like pneumonia or something. So he got a 0 from him that he survived.
Right. So, yeah, he still scored 158 with 0 on the scoreboard, which is crazy. Greg Kittle's, 15 points themselves there. He started Cleveland defense. How do you feel about that?
Against the Bengals, that's bold. I guess he just needed somebody to plug in there. We haven't talked a lot about the defenses this week. I noticed a lot of the head coaches won. Let me look. 4-0, 4-1, 5-2, 6-2.
You got
8-2. The head coaches went 10-2 this week.
Yeah, I didn't run a head coach on mine. I didn't do it. I saw the head coaches that were available, and I was like, they're too close to pick 'em games. I didn't want to do it. And my dumbass would pick the Buccaneers head coach, and I'm like, we're gonna lose.
Renegade Defunct, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 catches, 112 yards, touchdown. He might get more balls thrown this week his way with the Jameson Williams suspension. Devontae Williams had a big game. 14 carries, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns, 29 points. I feel like he could be working his way back from that knee injury he had last year and on the verge of some real fantasy production.
I would temper. I wouldn't want to see one more game because I think the Saints have like one of the worst run defenses in the league right now. Their defense is very old, so there's no whoppers. There's no one going to really whop somebody. So it's just people are running over. The Bucks had well over 250 yards rushing the previous week. Denver ran down their throat again. Bo Nix is not playing good. That's the thing about it, right? So Denver is winning games. Bo Nix is playing like hot garbage, and it's like, oh well, they just keep running the ball and playing good defense.
He's not turning the ball over, but you're right. He's not winning them games. He's more not losing the games that they do win.
Correct. Don't lose a game for us.
You could say he's winning them.
Evan Ingram came back down. Evan Ingram came back down to earth, 535, and Devontae Adams 3 for 30 in his debut.
That's pathetic. 3 for 30 in the debut. Like, what are we doing? We're not allowed to talk about the Jets anymore.
The head coach was the problem. It's the head coach's fault. That's why they got rid of him.
Lazard on MVP's bench outplayed Adams and DeMoss's lineup. Lazard 4 for 58, 9 catches, or 9 points. 4 catches on 4 targets. How many targets did Devontae have? He had 9 targets, 3 catches on. So Rodgers was forcing the ball. Rodgers can't play anymore. It's apparent. Yeah, that's it. That's it for the box scores.
So my player of the week. Let's just I was gonna give it to King Henry, but we seem to always give it to King Henry. He's always killed someone. So I'm just gonna go somewhere else with that one. My player of the week, I'm going to give it up to Rashard White here with 33 points. He helped me get that win. Baker's did score 39 points. We didn't bring that up because Baker's also the reason why they lost that game. So in real life, they lost the game because of him. So Baker, you don't get no credit in fantasy world. You cost Tampa Bay their game by throwing 2 terrible picks, even an end zone pick.
And you got your receivers killed.
And you killed 2 of your you killed 1. You're allowed to, and it's not even fair, but he definitely killed. But Rashard White though, showing you that he can make plays and all-purpose yards, well over 100 all-purpose yards. Get it, 33 points fantasy. Thank you.
Last year's league MVP for our league. I had the same thought. I wanted to give it Derrick Henry. Then I was like, we've been doing that too much. So I got creative here. I'm giving co-players of the week Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry because 78 points of the 152 that the Punisher scored is, how do you beat that? How do you beat that? If they get half of his points every week, he has 4 single-digit guys in his lineup, and he still scored 152 because of Henry and Jackson.
He has
the ultimate safety net.
Touchdowns. He won't score 5 touchdowns every week, so that's the thing. You've seen the Ravens got a little exposed. The idea that their defense isn't good. So, the idea that Tampa scored 31 on them still, it's like...
Sometimes when your team is that good, you hang your defense out to dry a little bit because you just march down the field and score, and then your defense is like, hey, we've only been off the field for 5 minutes. But, number 1 ranked Yeah, number one ranked quarterback is Jackson. Number one ranked running back is Henry. So they're my The standings. Let's see here. Spawn and Hine are tied at 6-1. Spawn is second in points scored with 1065. Smashhawk is first in points scored with 1072. Only 7 points more. He is 5-2. I am fourth place at 4-3. You are tied, and Brandon are both tied with me at 4-3. I'm just beating you guys in points. Then we got the 3-4 squad. This is messy. Slade, Jones, DeMoss, Heater, and Jordan are all 3-4. Then you got 2-5 teams, and Dead Money is down to a 3% playoff percent chance.
You have a tough matchup. You play against number one team this week.
Yeah, that's what I was saying at the top. I just 2 tough losses and now a bad matchup for me. I'm extremely concerned because I know I have a good team. I know I drafted well.
His projection is 160. He's projected high points.
So that brings us to our Hall of Famer. This is your week. Who you got?
All right. So my Fantasy Hall of Famer is a guy that we remember back in the early 2000s. He got drafted in 2023, second round pick number 54. I'm talking about the one and only Antoine Bolden. So Antoine Bolden ran a 4.7 at the combine. A 4.7. Which is considerably slow for a wide receiver. He was on 5 teams. He was on the Buffalo Bills last season practice squad, but never did anything with them. He was part of the Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl team. He was Offensive Rookie of the Year. Walter Payton Man of the Year 2015. 3-time Pro Bowler 2003, 6 and 8. He's part of the All Rookie team. He has a Community Service Award somewhere in there, and he has a couple of college awards there. Over 1,000 receptions, 13,000 receiving yards, 82 touchdowns. You know, his strongest season was 2005. He had 102 catches, 1,400 yards, and his career high in a single season catching touchdowns is 11.
It says here, despite not being named to the NFL 2000s All-Decade team, Bolden is widely considered as one of the greatest receivers of his era. He only spent 3 years with the Ravens. I would have guessed at least 5. He spent 2010 to 2012 there. I remember he got jacked up in the end zone once on like a Hail Mary.
Jets.
Yeah.
The guy ran helmet right into the thing, broke his jaw. Like it was like, and then he came back that season. Like he's like, well,
yeah.
Like you're a man. I think that was the year they went to the Super Bowl, as Arizona Cardinals went to the Super Bowl that year, because Larry Fitzgerald had some heavy lifting that year, and just like, because during their run for the Super Bowl, he was the main guy, where Antoine Bolden was kind of like the second guy. But Antoine Bolden had a couple of great games, like his early year. He had like 15 catches in one game, stuff like that. So he's been that guy, man. So shout out to Antoine Bolden. You know, Arizona Cardinal, great.
I didn't write down last week's, so Keyshawn Johnson is getting his name on the cardboard now.
All right.
Your Antoine Bolden pick. All right. Yeah, we'll see you next week, week 8. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Have a good night, y'all.